It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Alright, so I wanted to really take my time and sink my teeth in and really address this whole situation because, I had to really take some time to think about this so I can give you guys the large picture, the best video, the best analysis, just the best everything when it comes to this situation. Because I feel like when documenting this whole Terence Crawford, Jaron Ennis, IBF situation, it's very important that I get this right and I get it spot on. Now, after much thinking and much research and much backtracking and doing the timelines, I've heard a lot of people complaining in boxing. I've heard a lot of boxing fans. I've heard a lot of Terence Crawford fans complaining about unfairness, about how, Errol Spence had the belt for 5 or 6 years and only fought one mandatory in that time frame. So why does Terence Crawford get stripped when he's only had the belt for 3 months? Now, on the surface, this sounds logical, right? It's not fair. I get all that. But the way I see the whole situation is I just see it as a bunch of fake outrage. It's fake outrage from the boxing fans. It's fake outrage from everybody. And I think people who are saying these kind of things really haven't been, they haven't taken the time to process what's going on. Now, the reality is this. Let me give you guys a timeline. Now, obviously, we know the news now. Terence Crawford has been stripped of the belt from the IBF. Jaron Ennis, Boots, Philadelphia stand-up, Philadelphia's very own. He has been upgraded to the full champion, thus making him the newest and latest email champion in boxing, right? So people have had their things to say about that. But we know that Errol Spence, back in late August, he triggered the rematch clause, right? He decided that he wanted to exercise his rematch clause with Terence Crawford, that they were going to fight. Now, with Terence winning, Terence could choose to wait. However, it's already been stated long ago, before the fight, before the first fight was even made, as early as last year, back in, I believe it was August or July of last year, Errol Spence was complaining about not being able to make the welterweight limit. Okay, the Spence fans already had their suspicions that him not being able to make the welterweight limit is why he performed so poorly against Crawford. But that's another discussion for another day. So look, Spence can't make the welterweight limit. Crawford is contractually obligated to fight Spence next. That's the truth, right? So if he's gonna fight Errol Spence, it's gonna be at 154. Now, should Terence Crawford be afforded the opportunity to hold the belt while he fights at 54? That's up for interpretation. But really and truthfully, look, Jaron Ennis has been the IBF mandatory for quite some time now. I believe since he beat Custillo Clayton last year. And there's no sense in him waiting for him to get the belt. So I have zero problem with Terence Crawford getting stripped. Spence can't make welterweight. We all knew long ago that the rematch, no matter who won the first fight, was more than likely going to be at 154. So I don't understand why all these boxing fans are getting angry and getting all butthurt and getting all pissy about Crawford getting stripped. Now, to the point about Errol Spence and Errol Spence not being stripped all those years when he was champion. Now, I'm going to say this. If the boxing fans, if the boxing public, if the boxing world had even half of the outrage, a quarter of the outrage that they have for Terence Crawford being stripped as for Errol Spence not fighting mandatories for all those years, not fighting as mandatories or #1 contenders for all those years, then it wouldn't be, it would things would look a lot better than they are, right? But I'll give you an example. Khujatila Abdulkakarov, although he was never officially ordered as the IBF mandatory, he was the #1 contender for many, many years, right? Many, many years, multiple years. And I never heard anybody, the only person I'll give credit to on YouTube that I heard talk about Abdulkakarov not getting his shot was Punch Drunk Boxing. But other than Punch Drunk Boxing, I heard nobody else talk about Abdulkakarov. Y'all didn't care nothing about Khujatila Abdulkakarov, but you guys are only bitching, you guys are only pissy. You guys are only complaining because it's Terence Bud Crawford, and that's just the truth. So I don't feel bad about it. And the reality is this: Terence Crawford also said himself he's not gonna fight Jaron Ennis because there's nothing in it for him. When people like myself, good old BT and good old True School, would campaign for Terence Crawford to fight Jaron Ennis, I would get met with answers like, "Well, BT, True School, why does he gotta fight? Why does he gotta fight Boots? What's in it for him?" You know, they put their managers hats on, and you know, they play manager for the fighter. So they're fanagers, you know, as Calex Boxing would say. But nonetheless, I digress. It is what it is. I'm not gonna cry over spilt milk, but it really is fake outrage. Honestly. So Crawford should just, we already had years of Crawford and Spence holding up the division, and you guys want Crawford to hold up the division some more? Nah, to hell with that. Go fight on 54. Hopefully the rest of the sanctioning body strip him while they're at it. Unless he has an intention to come back and fight Jaron Ennis, hopefully the rest of them strip Terence Crawford, because them two, Crawford and Spence, you know I'm a big Crawford fan, them two held up the division for years, and neither one of them, neither Spence nor Crawford, should be afforded the opportunity to further hold up this weight class. Now that has been firmly established here on True School Sports, let's talk about Jaron Ennis, right? Because people are gonna demean his world title, and by the way, it's just where we're at in the boxing now. This is becoming a common theme. I'm pretty sure if things play out a certain way in the heavyweight division, Filip Hrgovic might be the next emo champion, and that's my guy too. So I'll keep that same energy and call him as such too if that ever happens. But what I will say is, you know, I don't really care that Boots is the email champion. What I really care more from Boots is, okay, you got your belt, you have now a bargaining chip, you now have a reason for fighters to fight you. There was all this talk as a contender that guys didn't want to fight him. Okay, you have a belt now, so. With him being IBF champion, let's just take a quick glance at the IBF rankings and let's see what could be next for, you know, Philadelphia's very own Jaron Boots Ennis. Now with him being champion, just a quick you know, survey of the rankings. I see a couple of very interesting fights here for Jaron Ennis. Now I know the rumored fight will be with the number 3 contender Cody Crowley, because you guys know number one and number 2 spot are not. There's nobody filling those spots right now. So Cody Crowley is technically your de facto number 1 contender, right? Even though he's number 3. You got him. Now, do we want to see that fight? I mean, Cody Crowley, solid fighter. That's a fight I know that's been talked about. There's been talk about money issues with offers and whatnot from the Cody Crowley team. So who knows if that fight gets made, right? Then you look behind him, you got Cal Esserman, you know, British fighter. I don't really think people want to see that. You know, good fighter. I'm not taking nothing away from him. Established fighter at the domestic British level, but do we really want to see Cal Esserman versus Boots? I don't think so. You got Jamal James, number 5. Jamal James. This is a guy that, you know, technically he had a Reggie belt. So I could see, you know, the fine folks at PBC making a Jamal James fight. And I wouldn't be excited about it, but I'm just telling you guys that's a possibility, right? And then you got Errol Spence, number 6, right? Which he's not gonna be at 47, so he's not really there. Let's act like he doesn't even exist. Your number 7 contender is a guy I'm very intrigued about. And honestly, look, I would love to see Boots fight this guy. In fact, there's 2 guys I want to see Boots fight. Odds are I'm not going to get what I want right away, if ever. But the 2 fights I want to see for Jaron Ennis is I want to see him fight the number 7 ranked contender, Japan's very own Jin Sasaki, or he can fight the number 8 contender, Giovanni Santillan. Those are the 2 fights for Boots that I feel he should be looking to make. Now, we'll start with Jin Sasaki. Why should Boots fight Jin Sasaki? For those of you who don't even know who the hell this guy is, who on God's green earth is Jin Sasaki? Well, Jin Sasaki is a Japanese welterweight, hard punching fighter, a lot of punching power. Exciting fighter. The thing is, a lot of people just don't know who he is yet, right? But I feel like, you know, that would be a really exciting fight. 2 big punchers. Would there be a market for it in America? More than likely, probably not. And I don't think Jaron Ennis is going to go to Japan for the fight, because Jin Sasaki's not that he's not a Naoya Inoue level type of star yet. So we'll put that fight in the back burner, being realistic. Now, the number 8 contender is Giovanni Santillan. And for me, for my money, if Jaron Ennis is really about, you know, fighting the best and really trying to make a name for himself in the welterweight division and holding that belt proudly as IBF champion, I really feel like this is a fight that he needs to pursue aggressively. Not passively, not talking about, I want the top guys. No. You got to pursue this fight aggressively. Giovanni Santillan is coming off of a very sensational performance against Alexis Rocha. He's got a good record. I believe he's like 31-0 or something like that. His stock is up right now. So now is a good time to fight him. And I think stylistically, it's an entertaining fight. Giovanni Santillan likes to come forward, likes to put on a lot of pressure. It would give a chance to Boots a chance to showcase some of those skills he's been wanting to show, right? So you got that fight there. That's the fight I think he should pursue. Showtime's not in boxing anymore. You shouldn't, he really shouldn't be loyal to a TV executive like he is Espinosa. That's just my opinion. That's the fight he's got to go pursue for me in the division. Because Thurman and Stanionis, the other guys that people will be interested in seeing him fight, those guys are occupied, right? And then I would say, the last fighter, and I could also see this fight getting made. I could see a Rashidi Ellis fight getting made, because this is a fight that Al Heyman was interested in making, PBC was interested in making before Rashidi Ellis lost Romain Villa. There was obviously a lot of trash talking and going back and forth between the two. Ellis hasn't fought since then, so he needs to get in the win column. But I could definitely see this being a fight just because of the fact that it would be a good build-up. There would definitely be some talking. And, So those are the 4 fights I'm looking at for Boots. Some are desirable, some are unrealistic, some are very realistic. So those are your 4 fights for Boots. Jamal James, Cody Crowley, Jin Sasaki, Giovanni Santillan, and Rashidi Ellis. So that's 5 fights. Those are 5 potential fights for Boots. And listen, I personally don't care. I mean, I do care, but I would like Boots to get active as soon as possible because I feel like he's still got a chance to make his name in boxing and be, not maybe a megastar, but be at least a star, a boxing star. Be someone that's, the hardcore is all know and support and becomes, someone to really become a ticket seller in this sport. Boxing needs ticket sellers, and I feel like Boots he has with him being from Philadelphia, with him having his style, and I feel like he could be a ticket seller down the road, but he's got to be active. He's got to give the world a chance to see the talent that God blessed him with. So hopefully, obviously you got Josh Taylor in the division as well, but I'm looking at strictly at the IBF rankings, and those are the guys that are in the rankings, and those are the guys that I foresee Boots trying to pursue the fight, right? So the Giovanni Santillan fight has to happen. I mean, obviously Jin Sasaki versus Boots could be a big fight in about a year. Like if Jin Sasaki's ranked, 13 WBC. He's ranked, 8 in the WBA and number 9 in WBO and number 7 in the IBF. So if Jin Sasaki decides to go one of the other routes, let's just say he goes and gets one of the other routes and actually winds up becoming Japan's first welterweight world champion. First of all, he's going to be a star overnight over there. That's number 1. And you could have another Inoue Fulton type of situation on your hands. So maybe not right now, Boots and Jin Sasaki, but I'm talking about 12 to 18 months. That could be a big fight in the welterweight division. But nonetheless, I digress. I just wanted to, speak my piece on the situation because it's been really nagging at me. You guys are just finding things to complain about. Terence Crawford and Errol Spence were never going to rematch at 147. Terence Crawford also said he has no intention of fighting Boots. And on top of that, Boots did this to himself because he had a chance to fight Terence Crawford before the Spence fight. And they decided not to do it because they wanted to be loyal to a TV executive, right? So that's their cross to bear. And then on top of that, y'all didn't care about Kujatilo Abdul-Kakraf when he sat there in the number 1 contender spot year after year after year in the IBF. You never said nothing about that, but you want to cry, you want to moan, you want to sulk because it's Terence Crawford. And truthfully, I'm just not hearing it. So listen, that's my opinion on the situation. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just giving Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.